Did you know over 2/3 of the human population is unable to digest lactose without some difficulty? But why do we continue to drink it? Some of us have been there. We have an innocent glass of milk, or we indulge in too much cheese, and for the next several hours, we feel a slight to mild discomfort that only seems to come when you have dairy products to eat. As someone who suffers from this bit of discomfort, I sought to seek why this happens and if there are alternatives out there to cow's milk. We need to stop drinking cow's milk. First, I will explain how cow's milk is harmful to the environment. Second, I will explain how cow's milk is harmful to humans. Lastly, I will explain how cow's milk is harmful to the cows themselves. Cattle and dairy farms are major factors that contribute to climate change. Drinking cow's milk is harmful, and in effect, we are enabling the destruction of the environment. The effects cows have on the environment far outweigh the positives. In an article by Sarah Kaplan for the Washington Post on November 18, 2019, she highlights the effects cows have on their ecological environment. Sarah Kaplan notes that making cow farms and dairy farms involves destroying the surrounding environment and destroying the biodiversity in the surrounding forests and leveling the land. The immediate destruction of the land also is a factor that increases climate change. In an article by Elena De Martini for the OSU College of Food, Agriculture, and Environment on October 2018, the manure from the cows is responsible for up to 7% of greenhouse gases. The manure is also rich in nitrogen and phosphorus. The manure often seeps into the groundwater and creates algae blooms because nitrogen and phosphorus create algae. We can't ignore the ecological damages that the cow's manure has on the environment. Now that I have talked about how cow's milk is harmful to the environment, I will explain how cow's milk is harmful to humans. The ability to drink milk is an evolutionary byproduct. Drinking cow's milk proves to be harmful to some humans. Most humans do not have enough of an enzyme called lactase, as highlighted by the cow's milk, which is intended for cow babies, or baby cows. According to an article by Stephen Wooding for Nature Genetics retrieved on November 11, 2020, the LCT gene gradually decreases as someone gets older, and it produces less and less lactase. By producing less lactase, the person is no longer able to digest the lactase without some difficulties. If you don't use it, you lose the ability to drink milk and digest it properly. The ability to consume milk was an evolutionary advantage centuries ago when the hunter-gatherers started farming their food supply. Those individuals were more likely to survive because there would be times of famine and food wouldn't be available and they would only have milk. European populations have the lowest rate of lactose intolerance because of that, while East Asians have higher rates because of the fact that they didn't have that ability to drink milk. Lactose intolerance greatly differs between different races, as highlighted by the Medline Plus that I retrieved on August 2020. And other cultures depended on more dairy products for their survival, and others did not. Now that I talked about how cow's milk is harmful to humans, I will explain how cow's milk is harmful to the cows themselves. Drinking cow's milk also harms the cows. To harvest the milk, cows are put into horrible conditions where they are often abused and stand in their own feces. As highlighted in the article by Chaz Nuki Burden for The Guardian on March 30, 2017, cows are often part of a zero grazing system which confines the cows indoors and inside confined spaces for the rest of its life to produce milk. Cows must also be milked on a daily basis to continue producing milk. In an article by Sophie Kavani for The Guardian on October 15, 2020, the cows get artificially inseminated every year, so they keep lactating and they keep producing milk. And they oftentimes birth calves that are tossed away and sold to reveal, or the female calves are often put through the same cycle that the moms are put. Cows also suffer from mastitis, which is an infection on their udders, and it is very painful, and it often leads to the production and the quality of the milk being very low. Now that I have explained how cow's milk is harmful to the cows themselves, it is now time to conclude my speech. We need to stop drinking cow's milk. First, I explained how and why cow's milk is dangerous and harmful to the environment. Second, I explained how cow's milk is harmful to humans. And finally, I explained how cow's milk is harmful to the cows themselves. There are better alternatives to cow's milk that aren't as harmful to the environment. And remember to move over and make the switch from milk.